Hey friends, this is Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead. Today's St. Patrick's Day, and we're not going to have a traditional Irish boiled dinner because A, I don't have any corned beef, and B, I don't have any pickled cottage roll. But we're going to do a variation on ShopDogSam's Poor Man's Dinner. I'm going to do a variation on it. You're going to need a head of cabbage, a small head of cabbage or a half a head of a big cabbage, 2 good sized onions, a pound of ground beef, a can of diced tomatoes. Here's my rice from food storage, some rice, and maybe even a green pepper. All right, now before the first thing we want to do is, this is, again, the extra lean local hay-fed ground beef. And the first thing we want to do, because it's so lean, we want to put some sunflower oil in the pan, get that heated up a little bit, and then we're just going to put our ground beef right down there, and we're going to start that cooking. First things first, we want some onion. Alright, there's our onions. Pop those in there with the ground beef. And there we go. Dump our green peppers in there. Now this is my big 12-inch cast iron frying pan. Alright, now while that's browning, we're going to add a little bit of my 3 favorite seasonings, folks. Real salt, pepper, and garlic. Alrighty. Now, we are not going to add any water to this. We are just going to simply let this saute on medium heat until all this burger's browned up and the vegetables are sauteed. In the meantime, we want to cut up our cabbage. Excuse me, pepper. Excuse me, pepper. Does it to me every time. Now, I'm only going to use half this cabbage for one simple reason. There's only 3 of us. We're going to cut the core out of this. Probably would have been easier if I had done it another way. Throw the core in there. A little bit of, looks like a slice into that cabbage. That's fine. We'll just cut that off. We'll either go to the pigs or go into my next broth, depending on how much vegetable matter I have. Now we're just going to take this half a cabbage, and we're going to slice it into sections. Let's give this a rinse. Our cabbage is cut and draining, and we're going to get our rice started. So first, we're going to get this pot turned on, and I'm going to put in 2 coffee cups, whatever measurements you guys want. I like to have leftovers to send to work with hubby in the morning to work for his lunch. 2 coffee cups of water. Let's wipe up our spillage here. About a teaspoon of butter. And of course, a pinch of salt. Now when this heats up, I'm going to add 1 coffee cup of rice. Our water's boiling. We're going to pour in our 3/4 cup of brown rice. Now brown rice takes longer to cook than regular rice or instant rice, but you won't find instant rice in my house. We're going to bring this to a boil, turn it down to just above minimum, and we're going to let that cook. We're going to continue to brown our ground beef and saute our vegetables together with their seasonings. I'm going to turn them down to brown, and we'll be back when it's time to do the next step. Okay, Now our meat and our onions and our green pepper and our seasonings have been sauteing, and they smell just lovely. But I think, in all honesty, we need just a little bit more garlic. And one of the reasons I use garlic and onions in everything, folks, because they have antibiotic properties and they're so good for you. So never ever underestimate the power of a seasoning with lots of garlic and onion. And contrary to popular opinion, it's not going to make everything taste the same because you're using other ingredients as well. Garlic and onions in chicken isn't going to taste like garlic and onions in burger. Okay. Now, we're going to take our cabbage and we're going to snuggle these hunks of cabbage in here just like ShopDogSam did. Except mine didn't look as pretty. He quartered his cabbage up and mine doesn't look as nice. But you want them laying kind of on their sides. Why? So that the juices get in between the leaves and cook them real nice. Now I'm sorry folks, I know it's St. Patrick's Day and I didn't make any Irish soda bread and I didn't make any corned beef and cabbage, but my husband's name in Irish originally is O'Fallala and comes from Waterford, Ireland. I didn't realize I was making a bigger. Now, ShopDogSam used 2 cans of tomatoes in his, but his was a smaller portion, and he used 2 small cans of tomatoes, so I guess I got to use 2 big cans of tomatoes. Oops. I love my canned tomatoes. All right, once again, we liberally season with some pepper and a 2-finger pinch of real salt, mine from Utah. And we turn this right down to minimum. And we just let this percolate for, I don't know, 40 minutes or so. But at the same time, it takes our brown rice to cook. We'll be back when this is ready to go on the table. Okay. This is ShopDogSam's kind of recipe, but we're having it over rice. He likes his with cornbread. Watch it. It's going to be really hot, honey. A little bit more meat in there. You want your pepper? Sorry. I'd like some more juice in mine.
Very good.
ShopDogSam.
Very good.
Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, thanks ShopDogSam. Bye.